All right, ladies, we are here. Another edition of Younger Life Live. Big round of applause. We're not only on the air at our flagship station, Girard Media's WIMS. We're online at WIMSradio.com, YoungerLife.org/live. You can see Rick Federici,
Mary Anthony,
Good
and
morning, Danielle Kessler.
yes, Danielle. Man, I am digging what Danielle is wearing. She's no stranger here to the Girard Media Studios. She's been on several times through the years, but I love her cool little vest.
Yes.
Check that out.
very, very cute.
Yeah, I'm digging
With
it.
T-shirts and things.
I-
You gotta
I-
mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I am so all about
Absolutely.
it. So when did they give you that cool little vest you got going there, the little Fish Club vest?
Well, this one in particular I've had for probably about a year or so, but
That's
we
cool.
recycle through them. I have T-shirts and long
Yeah.
sleeved. I'm kind of like the guru of promoting Little Fish through apparel.
I love it. I do.
This
I
is
do.
good.
Yeah.
Now, you have said, Mary Anthony, of course, that your children have gone through this program itself.
Yep. My first three have already been through Little Fish. I know that's is it about fourth grade?
Yes,
Danielle?
fourth grade.
Is it always fourth grade at every
It's
school?
always been fourth grade. We're doing some expansion, which we can talk about, but specifically fourth grade. Yes.
Okay, let's hold this thought because I
Yeah.
want to throw this out there because you guys are going to bond on this, and I'm going to jump in and ask all kinds of guy questions, right? Dad questions. Let's hear a little bit about you because for those folks that don't know Danielle, I would love to talk about your gig and what you do with IU Health LaPorte Hospital.
Sure. Well, I've been with the hospital for about 3 years now. And before that, I started my journey in wellness at the LaPorte County Family YMCA, actually. I was a personal trainer and aerobics instructor, then wellness director at the Y. And I moved on, took some time off when I had my kids. I have 2 kids, an 11 and a 6-year-old. So that's a lot of fun. So I do have a little bit in the mom /
Rock
kid
on.
category.
Yeah, absolutely.
you know?
Don't discredit. You have a lot of it in that mom
a lot of it.
realm.
Yes, I do. So, we got started there and I was given this opportunity to kind of take over the Little Fish Club and I welcomed it with open arms. I had some experience actually when I worked at the Y during Exercise and Heart Health Month. I would go over and actually assist with the program. So I did get my feet a little bit wet early in the game, which was kind of nice. But it's just an awesome program. And I always tell people that I feel like I have the most fun job at IU Health. I get to go out into the community and talk to kids and educate them on really important topics. So I love what I do.
This makes me feel good when I'm around 2 young ladies because you guys both have children, and I'm just so loving what you guys are bringing to the table. So that's what's going on right now. Man, we've got so much to talk about today
I
on
know,
the show.
absolutely. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that don't even know or have never heard of the program. So I can't wait. I think it is definitely it's a good community program.
It really is.
Yeah. Good. How long has Little Fish been going on?
Well, it got started, I think, in the year 2000, and it was just in one school. So we opened up just in one school. It was just a few modules, and it's expanded now in the current year to 18 schools.
Wow.
So we're moving and grooving.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it you that goes to each one of these schools?
Yes,
Just you?
I do go to each school by myself now in the beginning in October and May. I do have volunteers that travel with me to help me with kind of the introduction of the year and the closing of the year.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot. But wow, 18. That is crazy. I remember when my oldest, who is now a 10th grader, first was trying to tell me about it, and I thought it was I didn't get it at first until the more she told me, and they sent you guys send home flyers and stuff like that with them, and
Right.
I think it's great. So do you want to start there, Rick? Do you want to tell
Absolutely.
us about what it actually is a little bit?
Yeah, well, fish, I think people are always like, when they see me in the grocery store or at the register, I'll have my shirt on and somebody's like, "Oh, you must be a swim coach." No.
True, that's
not
funny.
a swim
That's
coach
funny.
because everybody associates the word fish,
Yeah.
with something that
Water.
has to do with that. And I usually joke around with the kids, we're not going to learn to fish. We're not talking
Yeah.
about aquariums. Fish actually stands for feel important, stay healthy. And that's the common theme that we try to get across
Yeah.
throughout the whole year.
I did not realize that, and shame on Ricky Federici because we bonded before. What does FISH stand for again? Everybody together. Think about this.
Feel important, stay healthy.
Which
Wow,
is
I
what
like
we want
this.
for all of our kids and each other. But I mean,
Yes.
Absolutely.
what a great goal for the kids. And especially fourth grade. Is there a reason that it's fourth grade?
Well, we feel like at fourth grade, they can kind of have some influence with their peers, first of all, but also, they can grasp information. They know how to read clearly, and they're getting to an area, can we say that they're getting a little bit more mature?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that they're able to grasp the stuff that we're, doing, and they can kind of implement that into their daily life.
Well, and their, bodies are
Yeah,
starting to change
they
themselves,
are, and
or-
we talk about that too. So.
Yeah, that's what I love, though. I think it's such a good, it's a broad range of things, right? Am I
It
right
really
about
is,
that?
yes.
Yeah, and just about trying to get them to make, kind of start planting those seeds for wanting to stay healthy longer, like we do, younger longer. But, trying to make better choices, right? I mean, from the
Absolutely.
very beginning.
It's all about making good choices, and if we can, influence them early on, we hope that they can continue with those choices, into adulthood, because going over and over and over again and just kind of ingraining those things into their head, because we're faced with huge obstacles with health and obesity in this country. So,
One of the things that we chatted about earlier on, and this is a topic because I have two daughters, and in that junior high or from that fourth grade on, as you ladies had pointed out, the young ladies are developing, so are the boys.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets a little tricky because some may develop, even on the guy front. I can tell you that personally, just from even my own experience as a young guy. Some of them develop way quicker, whether it's, the facial hair, whether it's just in general, the
voice.
deeper voices, the young ladies becoming young ladies on so many fronts. And, these are things as parents, it's a tough nut to kind of, I don't want to say crack, but to approach, but all along, a lot of
Totally.
us are,
Yeah,
it
just to
really
get that
is.
ball
It
rolling,
is.
really.
especially with the girls, I feel like
Right.
having a daughter of my own, and she's in fifth grade, so we've done this, and it's those scary conversations. It's those, these young people are blossoming and blooming, shall we say,
Right.
much earlier these days. So they are way ahead of them from where I was at that age.
The stats, you and I chatted about this, and along with Danielle before the show today, the stats are overwhelming on so many fronts. So, we could look at some stats coming up in a few seconds here
Right.
on the show, Younger Life Live, of course, and YoungerLife.org /live. One of the things I wanted to throw out there to you is, the club itself has been ongoing for, you said, a number of years, correct?
Yeah, since 2000, actually.
So what was the brainchild? Who actually came
Right.
up with this? I'm just kind of curious where the history of this is. And obviously you have been at the forefront the last many years, several years.
Right.
Let's talk about that. These are all people chiming in with questions.
Sure. Well, there were several colleagues way back when that kind of put their heads together and said, we need to get a handle on what's going on. And they've noticed, like you said, with the trends and the percentages
Right.
that are rising with childhood
Was it
obesity.
that's what I was going to ask. Was that
Yeah.
really the biggest trigger?
Yeah, I think obesity epidemic was the hugest trigger, and that's kind of where it blossomed from there. And then we started incorporating more and more topics that we found were very relevant and made a big difference in the kids' life.
So let's talk a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, about how this does it start. It obviously starts in the fourth grade level, and then where do we go from there? How does that progress? Is it a weekly meeting? I mean, explain to our Younger Life Live viewers, folks that are out there listening to the radio today, or maybe online, or using that free tune-in radio. Talk a little bit about the program and expand a little bit on that, if you mind.
Sure. Well, we meet actually once a month for 8 months. We start in October, and I go to all 18 schools once a month. Till May. So they get to see me once a month pretty much for the whole school year.
Yeah.
We don't start right away because the teachers are still getting used to
course.
students. They're getting adjusted to school. But we do start in October, and we do 8 different modules, all different things from health to nutrition to exercise to tobacco prevention, dental hygiene, self-esteem and hygiene. So we cover just a wide variety of topics. And it's just a lot of fun. It's very interactive, very hands-on. I don't just sit and talk to the kids and from a PowerPoint, though there is one in the background. But it's lots of interaction, and we get the kids up and moving and asking questions and really get them involved and engaged in the topics. So
I think too, and maybe you guys could jump on this a little bit. When it comes to the state, obviously we are all parents, and there are a lot of parents out there that have been through this program, and Mary, you being one of them with your children. And obviously, as we look at this, Danielle, does the state, do they have like requirements for this actually and how it's put together? Because that's got to be a question that comes up
Right,
from all
absolutely.
the parents.
yeah,
everything is
and
so.
it is. It's crazy, and that's one of the ways that we can actually get into the schools and not take away from teachers' time. Is we do follow state education standards. We follow the Indiana guidelines for each module, so we're allowed to be able to go in, take that hour. And the teachers love it too. They get
I'm sure.
involved. They
Absolutely.
get a little bit of break too,
Yeah, I was
which
gonna
is
say,
kind of
yeah.
nice. But we do follow those education standards, so they don't lose valuable class time. This just goes right into the curriculum.
Is just part of their health,
It is,
part of their
yeah.
health class,
Yep.
kind of health discussion. I would imagine the teachers, aside from being a little break, but it gives them a great stepping stone to be able to elaborate on things, or, even a day two later that a kid say, I was thinking about that, question, or thinking about that discussion with Miss Kessler, whatever, and they can ask their teacher. So I think that's great, really.
Yeah, and we've gotten them more involved just in the last couple years as well. We've started doing a tracking program
really?
with the kids so that they can kind of use those healthy behaviors, and we make sure that they're actually doing it. So we give them like exercise trackers and fruit and vegetable trackers, and they track brushing their teeth, and then they get a reward if they turn it in. While we tell them that it's not necessarily the teacher's responsibility to make sure that they fill it out, the teachers are a little bit more engaged in the Little Fish Club in that way because they want to help the kids excel. So that's another way that we can kind
make
of
those good behaviors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those habits. Very young, I think, they're a great age for that.
So
and that's good.
trackers, when you're talking about that for the audience viewing and on the air, so they're basically looking at, you guys are saying to them, okay, so explain what a typical tracker would be. So how would you do? You would say, okay, your assignment for tonight, or do we even say the word assignment on this?
Yeah, you know what? I don't.
That's
I don't
good.
really
That's
say the
probably
word
better.
assignment or test ever
Yeah.
Good.
because I don't really
Good.
want that association. I want them to feel like this is something fun, this is something
Agreed.
extra.
This is- yeah.
I think fun
Good
is the
idea.
key word there. And it's something, we all know that it takes 21 days to form a habit. So we give them this whole full month to track, usually for about 2 weeks to 21 days of, exercise, water, fruits and vegetables. And then we know that once they turn that in, they're excited to get their reward from it. But then they're also, implementing this into their life. And that's what we really want.
So what would be a typical example? So let's look at the fruits and veggies side of life, because
Sure.
it's tough. We all know, because I even know
Absolutely.
how I was as a kid. I didn't want to touch vegetables. As an adult, I love broccoli. I love
Yes.
cauliflower.
Yeah.
I love salads. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just a taste thing. Were you like that as a child?
I
or
liked
what
a
were
lot
you
of raw veggies
Yeah.
as a kid. Again, how we had talked about gardening last week. We did have a garden, so I liked the tip. I don't want to say typical, but the carrots, the peas, the beans. I loved all that
Right.
raw salad stuff. Just in general, I loved big old salads. So but I do think as an adult, you do enjoy it more. I know I do. My kids would never eat stuffed mushrooms. Me, I
Oh,
could
yeah.
get
Oh,
enough of them.
oh.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
I love
or like
that.
asparagus
Right
or anything
Well,
like
yeah,
that. I
they
never
just are
ate when I was
very
a kid.
resistant to that. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it is just a taste thing that develops with age and time and knowing we should. I don't know, but I do think that so I don't want to say assignment, but really how do you track that? Is it different types? Is it the different colors that you do?
Yeah, and we
Or
do
is
it kind
just-
of from like a very open-minded perspective. Obviously, it's recommended for the kids that we get 5 fruits and vegetables a day. I always tell the kids up front, I said, this is hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard for an adult to
It
get
is.
5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So usually the route we go with the trackers, or just in general, I tell the kids, listen, if you're getting 1 serving of fruit, so if you're getting a banana in the morning, which is actually 2 servings of fruit, but if you're getting a banana in the morning and that's all the fruit you've had for the day, then maybe tomorrow or for the next week, you make it your goal to up that by 1 more serving or 1 more piece of fruit, something like that. Something that's easy for them to grasp,
That's a good
Or the
idea.
same thing with the vegetables. If their only serving of vegetables is green beans at nighttime for dinner, then maybe they can up that the next week with another serving in their lunch or something like that, just
Yeah.
to make it attainable for them. Because
Yeah.
5 servings, it's scary. I mean, that's a
It
lot.
is intimidating.
It's
I mean,
hard.
that's true. Absolutely.
And let's
So-
face it, these kids, honestly, it's crazy. They're not getting fruits and vegetables at all.
It
I
is.
mean,
I
they're
just
getting
learned
them,
something
but
new
in a
here.
very small
Mm-hmm.
quantity.
I just learned something new here. I'm excited about this because I'm a banana kid. So now when you said that, our adults, because you're a trainer, you've got that health background. For adults, is it 5 servings a day too?
Yeah, it's recommended
Wow.
that we get
Okay.
5 servings.
So if I do a banana, is that really 2 servings for me?
It really is 2
Wow.
servings. Yeah, half a banana is
I like
considered
that.
1 serving. So,
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, there you go. Look, you already one-upped yourself and didn't know
I
it.
had a banana already today, and here's what I did. I had a bowl of, what did you both have for breakfast? I had a bowl of oatmeal, just the regular steel cut oats. I put in there a full banana.
Awesome.
And then I put in there, I drizzled honey and cinnamon. That's my fave.
That's perfect.
I like that, but here's what I do, and this is the key for success for me. I don't like the taste of just someone may say, I just don't like the bland taste of just straight out oatmeal, because it's just that straight cut oats.
Yep.
So I put it in there, and normally it's like 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So I'll put it in there, and then halfway through, I'll have the banana cut up like you do it, really cool. I'll throw it in there, and then I'll throw it in there for, that would be like another 30 seconds, and then I mix it up. Then I drizzle the stuff at the end. Oh, it's like heaven on earth.
I'm gonna try that.
Oh, I'm serious.
Because
I'm a huge
my
fan.
kids love
Yes, yeah, like
my kids love the fruit and cream yogurt. I mean oatmeals.
Oh, mine
which
too.
I'm sure are not the best. Their sugar content's probably a lot higher. But honestly, I reason with myself. Whatever gets them to eat that,
Yep.
is fine with me.
But when you say oatmeal now, which one
Well,
is
it's
that?
the fruits and cream. It's a Quaker
Oh,
oatmeal.
that's not a
I
bad
know
one.
exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. And I actually talk about that in particular with the kids because we go over each of the 5 food groups. And I also give them ideas of healthier choices that they can incorporate into each meal.
Can we play with this one a little
Yeah,
bit? I think
please.
I want to help some parents here and ourselves.
Absolutely.
Educate folks, please.
Yeah.
Danielle.
I mean, in the morning, the biggest goal is something that's high protein, high fiber, and low in extra added sugar. But I tell the kids when they say, well, we really only eat Pop-Tarts or Fruit Loops, I always tell them it's okay. You can still have those things. The idea is just not to eat those things every single day.
Yeah.
And we're on the oatmeal topic, so we'll just go there. My kids eat the same thing. They like the fruit and cream oatmeal.
Yeah.
And it does have some extra sugar, but the same thing I tell the kids when I talk to them, if you're getting oatmeal in your belly, it stays with you for a longer
does.
time because it does have fiber, it does have protein, and the little bit of extra sugar in there is nothing comparatively speaking to some of the other breakfast items that are out there. So
Yeah.
You have
Good.
just made several thousand people out there listening and viewing very happy because I think there are parents out there, even including some of us that are parents and those out there that are grandparents or babysitters or those taking care of children. You don't want them to feel guilty and you have
right.
to work within a budget too.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
you could tweak it and then move towards that common healthy eating.
Right,
scope.
right. Not every day
Great.
can be, omelet, egg white, omelet, breakfast.
Well,
it just can't be. It
there's
just isn't
time is a
practical.
huge thing
Right.
too,
You know, absolutely.
Food prep is another big thing that's super helpful. So,
My kids make fun of me because they love sugary cereals.
oh yeah.
But if I buy a sugary cereal, I see that's only a snack only. Like after school, if they want
Sure.
to eat that for a snack, I don't care.
Yeah, or they put
At
it in a
least it's
cup and
still
eat it
decent.
dry.
Yeah, oh yeah, they love that,
Reminds me of
But
my
otherwise, well,
Yes.
normal breakfast cereals, you're talking, Special K and
Yep.
Life and Cheerios, like
Right.
the ones that still are a little sweetened, but you're not talking. I mean,
Yes.
my kids love the ones with the marshmallows.
Oh,
you know
like
what I
Lucky
mean? The Lucky
Charms
Charms,
and-
and those are great. Those are great for sometimes, even a weekend.
Yeah,
kinda
but then they
It's
pick
a
the marshmallows
treat, I
out.
guess you
Yeah.
could say treat.
It is,
But
it
you know what
is,
you do
and
too,
they
and I
love
don't know if folks have tried this. You could mix up the cereals like the regular Cheerios with a little bit of some of the stuff you had mentioned, and
That's a
it
good
kind of
idea.
is almost like a smorgasbord.
Yeah,
of
well, it would
cereals,
balance
you
it out a
know?
little more.
Yeah.
And by the way, like instead of, and I don't know how you feel about this, Danielle, because you're kind of like the expert on this, but you look at the regular Cheerios, but I'll tell you, my daughters, they love every once in a while the Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
They're
that's
still
awesome.
having-
That's what we
breakfast.
buy.
Yeah,
They prefer that.
totally.
Yeah, we love that and a half a banana.
Yep,
Or
put it right in the cereal.
Oh yeah.
Or, well, I'm just on the side. My kids
Yeah.
love it. They'll eat the cereal, grab the banana, we're out the door, or apples, stuff like that. So
Kellogg's has got a cereal out. I know my wife and I have, and my wife likes the Kellogg's, the Special K. It's the protein one, just protein. Then there's one that's called Chocolatey Delight. But if you turn the labels, and I was just in the store yesterday looking at some of this stuff. You could mix that up where you put half a bowl of protein, half a bowl of chocolatey delight. The only thing that's different to me, there's not sugar on the flakes. It's the little pieces of dark chocolate. But this is just Rick Federico's
Yeah.
theory. If I'm having a little bit of dark chocolate, it's
cares?
okay.
It is okay.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
totally
I love their
okay.
red berry one. Speaking
Oh,
of,
yeah.
those dry
They have
berry
the yogurt
Yeah,
ones
that's
too.
my daughter's favorite.
Which one?
The red berries.
Yes, that's
It's
very
so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. So, well, at least I feel like, we're not doing something terribly wrong
No.
then. I
And
like
can
that.
I tell you to this day, and I know I'm the old guy in the audience here, but
Please.
I love Gerber, my entire life I've been eating baby cereal, but not in the jars.
Yeah.
But the actual baby cereal that is comes off to be the flakes, and you add water or milk to it.
Yeah.
So I get the bananas.
Do
and the
you
apples.
really?
Kind of like
No.
cream of wheat, huh?
Yeah, it is. It is in a way. Absolutely. Yeah,
Well,
really.
And a lot of you guys, I mean, I'm not kidding you. It's $2.79 for the big box.
Yeah.
And like usually, I'll have that every once in a while. But instead of let's be honest here. Instead of me saying, I'm hungry for potato chips, which I try to stay from junk food at my age at this point. Everything in moderation, but truly. But instead, I'll do like a bowl of that.
Yeah.
And again, we'll throw in a piece of fruit. But you made me happy because
Yeah,
I'm taking this.
look
This
at
5
you.
servings is tough because this is me going, okay, when am I going to get this in? But if a banana, a lot of times, if I blow off or I have a very light lunch or just don't have time for lunch because of all the meetings, I'll have a banana from one meeting to another or on the ride home, knowing that in a couple of hours I'm going to have dinner, and I don't want to screw that up.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to do less. I'm trying to do smaller portions too. Is that what?
That's
Dad,
a good
does
idea.
that
That's a
promote
big
for
thing.
kids?
And I mean, usually when you're hungry, your body needs protein. Usually when you're hungry, that's what you need. So, I mean, and you can always put in extra veggies. So if you're eating extra veggies because you're hungry, that's awesome, right?
I'm all about that. What is your opinion? And if you don't mind me asking you, ladies,
Please.
what is your opinion on, like at the store, like my daughters will say, I'll get the fresh blueberries in the small little cases or the raspberries. They'll throw them in their Greek yogurt. But then I also love when you get the frozen ones, and then I throw those in there. But see, like when I'll bring my, yogurt to work, I'll throw in the frozen mango, the blueberries, and all this, like a mix, a concoction. Then by the time I eat it, it's like perfect.
Yum.
So what's your feeling on that? If you guys don't mind me asking,
Like fresh versus frozen?
Yeah.
You know what? I really don't think there's that big of a difference. And sometimes, truthfully, when you get what you think is fresh produce, it's actually been on a truck, sitting for a little bit, and then delivered to the grocery store, and then out. And you don't know when they put it on the shelves. Whereas frozen, sometimes, it's frozen at its highest, most nutrient value,
right.
and put in to eat. So fresh or frozen, I think as long as the kids are getting that fruit or vegetable, that's all that matters. I even tell the kids, you know what, if it's in a can, yeah, it's a little bit less healthy, but you're still getting vegetables or fruits versus getting none.
Yeah.
And we talk about syrup content with the fruits because a lot of them
Yes.
are getting
Yeah.
canned fruit. We just try and tell them, you know what, make sure it's in its own juice or even in light syrup instead of heavy syrup.
Right,
And
right.
that's just a step in the right direction. And we kind of compare the heavy
I
syrup
love
to
that.
candy.
I love that
So-
it's that basic.
Yeah.
Only because, for one, certainly their age, but for two, Rick and I know, we had Chef Melody in here a while ago, which she's awesome, but it was intimidating. I mean, I literally left with my head spinning thinking, I feed my family crap 24
Right.
hours. You know what I
Right.
mean? It was
You got
raw
to start
thinking.
somewhere. You can't
So it's just nice to
throw
know,
it all.
it's nice to plant those seeds right now with them a little.
Yes.
Those little tiny changes and tweaks I
I
think are
think
important.
too, and Danielle Kessler is our guest here in studio today. Rick
Mm-hmm.
Federici, Mary Anthony, Younger Life Live. I think all these different shows we're doing, and the scope of the show is to, stay younger, live longer, educate, and my gosh, even today, just 4 or 5 of the things you've said for the short time you've been here, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I know, your knowledge, and you're very intelligent, and it's like every time you come in, you're always bringing something to the table. So if we can help people and say, this is okay, you can do this, or
Yeah.
to the young ones out there, you know what? Try this one, and you might like it, or whatever.
I think
it is.
that's
so
the
thank
key
you.
word is try. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome for sure.
Yeah, that is really nice. You said about also about that you do different modules. So even like dental health, you do. What about do you address the the changing of the bodies? Do you address periods? You address
We don't
body
go
odor,
that far
shaving?
in. We do.
Good question.
We do hygiene and we do discuss puberty, and the kids always cringe. And I try and warm
Yeah.
them up to say, okay, now I'm going to put this word up on the board here. Don't freak out about it. It's going to be
That's
okay.
cute, yeah.
So we do talk about it, but we don't go into like menstruation or anything
Right.
like that. We basically just do hygiene as far as body odor is concerned, that the voice might be changing, things like that. The acne, that's another big one that we
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about.
good point.
Acne and body odor.
Yes.
So deodorant.
Showering regularly, making
Yeah.
sure we're changing our clothes.
Like once a day, kids.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of times in the morning, these kids are not only making breakfast for themselves, but they're in charge of, in 4th grade, you get yourself dressed, you shower yourself.
sure
and
do.
does that mean that they're necessarily doing a good job or somebody's checking to make sure
No.
that they did it? Maybe not. So,
Right.
if we can kind of influence them that way to kind of take charge and they think it's cool because they're in charge. They don't have like little brother or sister who mom has to give them a shower or bath.
Yeah.
They get to do it. So we make it like it's kind of their thing. So we make it cool. And the deodorant thing is always fun to talk about because I get goofy with the kids and I'm like, you have smelly pits.
Yeah.
And everybody laughs.
So it's funny.
You know what?
We make fun with it. Yeah.
This is a serious subject because I
It
will
is.
throw this out
Oh,
there. We
woo,
all have
yes.
children and no children. You may even have those children.
Yeah.
The problem is when the children at a certain age, they do sports, they're active, they're running around, they're playing sports. How about this one? Normal life. They're playing outside with their friends or riding a bike.
Yeah.
Listen, you have got to be, as a parent, as a babysitter, as a grandparent, if you're the provider for this child, because everybody's got, whether you're a single parent, whatever it is, we all as parents, grandparents, and folks out there have to let these little ones know, you know what? You're smelling a little bit, you have to be blunt. You're smelling a little bit ripe today. What does that mean? Well, can you smell that? Or you have to
Yeah.
almost point it out to them
You
and
do.
say,
You do.
You
know what?
absolutely
You
do.
have got to maintain.
Did you put Did
You
you
have-
put deodorant on?
Right.
I ask
And
my daughter every day.
So
still.
agree. But you want to know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And they're going to see themselves perspire. And even if people perspire, they have pretty smelling deodorants for most young ladies. But for the guys, it's, you hate to say it, but there's not a lot of cool things out there. It's more
Right.
just like right to the point. And you have to, and I could tell you this from experience, you also have to bond with your children about this because some young ladies, especially ladies, the deodorants are very unique for them. They don't work. So you may
Yes.
go through 5, 6, 7, 8 deodorants and say,
Yes.
Dad, this one isn't working. It's like I'm still sweating. And then they're going through a change of life where they're going through the young lady stage into the young woman stages and tie that in as a father when the wife is not around. And or
That's a
maybe
great
you're just
point,
single
though.
dad. Right,
It
No,
is.
it is. It's a great point because
Seriously.
it doesn't always, not everything is going to work for everyone, clearly. And so it's
Right.
good. I love Little Fish because I feel like it's a good start for them to maybe bring home. I love that you guys send little samples, right? That was
Yes,
something
we
had to
give
address.
them a mini deodorant, and we actually changed that over the years. We used to only give it to them during hygiene month.
Oh, yeah.
And now we give them a deodorant at the very first presentation, and then they can have up to another deodorant throughout the year.
I love that.
So we do that
Because
for them
if
too.
you, as a parent, say, some of us, there are things we just prefer to ignore, or you just might not realize, wow, my kid's really this age already. So if they bring it home, it's a great way to at least open that, that can of worms and say, wow, it really is time to have this talk and, be that person that your kid can ask. But I think Little Fish is a great start for that.
Yeah, and I think you have to get them involved. I mean, like I said, in the program, we even poke fun at it a little bit. I'll say, I put
Yeah.
myself on the spot all the time just to, lighten it up for the kids. I've said, I'm one of those people that goes into Walmart, sniffs every deodorant till I
Yeah.
find the
Oh,
right
yeah.
one.
You have to.
So
You
get them
have
excited
to.
about that. Take your kid, let them
Yeah.
go in and smell the
Let
different
'em pick it out.
deodorants till they find one they like. Because if they like it, they're
Yep.
going to use it.
I'm so with you. You could actually do that. And the way to play the game, here's another game for parents and
Yeah.
grandparents out there. As long as you're there with them and they're not going to do it when you're not there and you have to be a professional or very mature about it. Use that mature word, put them in the hot seat. But you can do that with dish soaps. You could do that
Yeah.
with fabric
Everything.
softener
Yeah,
and play that
absolutely.
game where you're doing that. Now, the other thing is, I think one key element, I know Danielle can expand on this. Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, Danielle Kessler here in the studio with Younger Life Live today. And thank you so much for joining us, by the way, Monday through Fridays, 9 to 10 Central. When you're talking about things that could really spin off and make kids be bullies, make fun of your child, it's the first two things. Sometimes the acne can't be helped because all of us have gone through different stages with whether it's dry skin, oily skin, whatever.
Certainly.
Yes.
You try to do that, but you can control the smell.
Yeah.
The deodorant. And I'm saying this because I want to
It's
be
very
blunt about
true.
this.
It
You
is.
have
You
to.
can.
Have to. So you have to say to them, hey guys, I got to tell you this. And gosh forbid that you get into a situation where your child or someone or even their friends are in that situation. Maybe you bond with their parents or their dad or their mom, who's ever taken care of them. But I'm telling you, you talk about people being bullies. Man, you smell, and they're going to say those words.
Oh, they are.
They're going to
Kids
say
kids
those
can be
nasty
very
words.
mean,
They're
right.
brutal.
Horrible.
I could tell you that from experience, especially in the junior high, and especially as
Yes.
they get from that third, fourth, fifth grade, and they go up. These kids are playing basketball, they're wrestling. Go into a locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about the way a locker room smells.
Absolutely.
And you have to, I'm
Yes.
going to throw this out there, and I know you guys talk about this, you have to make sure your children's clothes smell good. You have to make sure that they're washing their faces. You have to make sure that they're washing their hands. And when they go to the bathroom, it's a must, man.
It really
For
is.
healthy
You know,
reasons.
it's besides good manners.
Yes.
As far as just taking care of yourself, you know, children especially, are going to be mean. Bullies. Now,
Right.
obviously, bullying can run an enormous spectrum. And I mean,
Yes.
unfortunately, it can get pretty ugly no matter what you do to, no matter how clean of a person you are or are not. I mean, I think
Right.
that's just true. But I think it's just good manners to, present yourself as you try to make sure that you are clean. And, I joked yesterday about having a jammy day all day.
Right.
That doesn't mean I don't brush my teeth.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's always
Yes.
what people, I think
Yes.
people need to know that. It's
Yes.
fine. You still, there are things you do no matter what. You keep yourself clean. That's what you do.
Yep.
You wash your hands. You wouldn't believe how many kids come over that I literally, I'll go, did you wash your hands?
Oh, that's normal.
Yes.
Oh, I can't help it. I will call a kid out on that
Oh,
because
absolutely.
please, we snack a lot in our house, and I do not want your
Right.
German
grubby
little hands
That's what I call them, grubby hands.
all over everything. You know what I mean? Yuck. Wash your
How
hands.
about this one, ladies? When the young boys come over or the guys or the gals, and they've got a whole house full of folks
Mm-hmm.
going, it's like they're using the bathroom. I am so with you on that 100% when you're talking about
Yes.
the grimy hands. But how about this one? Guys, did you put down the toilet seat?
Oh yeah. Oh, I have no problem
But I
yelling
mean,
about
close
that.
the whole flipping
The
toilet,
whole thing.
guys.
Yes.
The whole thing. I mean, we
Close it.
have, we a majority
Ladies.
are girls in our
Yes.
house by one. We have one over the guys. But I think that it's funny because my boys are the youngest ones, and so they've always been taught. I mean, you potty and you flush, you close the
Yes.
entire lid.
Yep.
Yes.
And they don't even know any different. Like,
Right.
that's just what they do. You know what I mean? And I think it's just part of manners. You just teach your kids that. It always surprises me when other kids come over and I have to, who I would have no problem calling
yeah.
someone out.
I
Who
can
did
imagine.
this?
Busted.
Who did it? I have no problem saying that because it's important.
Right, it is
and
important.
It is important. And you would not want them to go to someone's house. I mean, your own children to go to someone's
I
house and
agree.
embarrass themselves.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
So in the Little Fish Club, you guys,
Mm-hmm.
when you're talking about hygiene, you're talking about all levels.
All
You're-
levels of
you're
hygiene.
teaching them, correct,
Yeah.
Danielle?
And not only with the hygiene, we also incorporate in that same lesson self-esteem.
Good.
I
Because we
love
feel
that.
like it goes hand in hand. When you feel good about you and you smell good, you look good, you're more confident. It's just something as simple as, like you said, putting on deodorant
Right.
and brushing your hair in the
Yeah.
morning. Just little things that people take for granted
Yep.
that really make you feel good. And the kids are mean. You said it. I mean, and it happens earlier and earlier, and it's just so evident just in the hour that I spend with the kids what we're up against when it comes to bullying and things like that.
I could so imagine seeing Danielle at the store. You're with your children,
Yeah.
like, Mrs. Fishy,
Yeah.
Am I
They
right?
know.
They do.
It's kind of crazy, but I kind of feel like a celebrity sometimes
Yeah.
when I go to the
I
grocery
was going to
store.
ask you that. You said you've done this now for 3 years
Yes,
at the schools.
I actually had an instance not too long ago at Walmart. There was a boy behind me at the register, and he was wanting to do the fish handshake. We have a handshake that
Oh.
we do.
Gosh.
And his mom was like, "Why are you touching that lady in front of you?" Literally.
How
Yeah.
And
cute.
I was, we're just doing the handshake, little fish club. He's
Who
like,
are you?
"Oh
That is
yeah."
cool.
Or I'll see kids kind of looking at me and they don't want to say something,
Sure,
but they do,
sure.
and I'll be like, "Are you a little fish club?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hi, Miss
Yeah,
Danielle. And then
yeah,
they get
see.
into
That's
it,
good.
So it's fun that way
That
too.
is.
See, and I think
love that you
too,
keep it light.
It's great, and keeping it light. 'Cause
Keep
you
it
guys
light.
are just, you guys are fun moms too. You could just tell, and that's what I think too. A lot of, you could make it fun. You could make it where you're teaching your children or your grandchildren, whatever. But again, I think Danielle and Mary bring up great points too, where it could be something where it's a fun experience. It's a game, but a good game. A
That's
good
it.
game of
Good
a game
for
of
you.
life, for lack of a better
That's
word.
it.
Yes.
Do you? I'm sure that in the children that you at all these different schools that you might run into kids that their families may not value hygiene or good eating and stuff like that. How can they improve things for themselves? I mean, at 4th grade, it's not like they're out buying, the vegetables or buying the deodorant.
Right.
I mean, obviously you give deodorant, so that's
Yeah.
fantastic. But as far as how do you encourage them to make good, healthy eating choices when maybe their
Well,
families
and that's
don't
where
value
the
that?
keeping it a little bit simple as far as, you got to work with what you have.
Absolutely.
And so if it comes from a box or a can, you know what? maybe that's all that they can have. So
Yeah.
we just talk about healthier ways to prepare it, or if it comes from a can as fruit, again, the lights, having
Yeah.
light syrup or,
Fantastic.
fresh in the juice, just things that can alter it a little bit for them, or just consistently giving them that message, as far as hygiene is concerned. To me, really, no matter where you come from, you have the
Right.
ability every day. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
99.9% of us have access to water these days, thankfully. So, I mean, even if it's taking a washcloth in the sink with some soap and
Right.
just wiping themselves down before school, if, it's water is an issue or whatever it is. So we just try and make it as easy and as doable for these kids as possible, because there are some very less fortunate out there for sure. And it's heartbreaking, really. And that's one of the most rewarding, but also some of the toughest times in the schools is what the kids are willing to kind of talk about in front of their peers. Almost like cries for help. But then you feel like what you did that day really made a difference. And that's another
Yeah.
big, a big thing. So
Bravo. Do other schools do this now? Has this program grown that you know of? I mean, not schools, but other areas. Any place else has this developed into anything else that you know of?
Not that I know. We actually own the trademark to Little Fish Club. So
Fantastic.
right now it's just our thing, and we keep expanding. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
You know what
absolutely.
I would love to do, if you wouldn't mind, Miss Danielle. See how I said that as the teacher? Because now I'm
That's
talking
what
to
they call me,
big
Miss
boy.
Danielle.
Well, I mean, I think this would be really cool, and I know we might have to get permission to do this, and this might take a couple things to run through. But could you imagine doing a show with the Little Fish
I
Club
would
with
love
the
to do
kids?
that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Obviously, we know we probably would need permission, and we have to go
Right.
through the school. But wouldn't that be a neat thing? And quite honestly, it would be kind of cool. I have no problem having as many people as you want here at the radio station, because we have cams in here. We have cams when we go out and about. Like we
Right.
go visit Cafe 1007 tomorrow, and I'm going to win
Right.
and beat you on that competition.
I'm pretty competitive.
Whatever, Federici. But what I would think is we can have parents. We could bond with the parents, the kids.
Maybe get some
you know,
teachers
us,
even in.
Oh my gosh,
That
we
would be
we
really
could
cool.
do
I mean, a really good panel, I think. I know you said
several-part
you.
series.
Yeah, you've been doing this a few years, but the club itself has been going on since 2000. You said, do you guys get feedback from like older Little Fish graduates that
Yeah,
per
we've,
se that
we've done
that
some
may-
interviews over the years with kids, and if people are familiar with a foundation's annual report, there are some highlighted stories in there for sure of some kids that have had great success kind of carrying on the message of Little Fish throughout their life after fourth grade. So we feel
making
like
better
we're
choices.
yeah,
because
making
of it?
better choices, or just continuing on with that whole healthy lifestyle as they get into high school and college, and wanting more for themselves.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of curious now, as an adult and as a guy that loves music. You got the Deadheads, you got the Parrot Heads, you do have the Fish Heads with the PHISH
Yes.
for the band
Yeah.
Fish. We want to keep it all positive and healthy and that kind of stuff. But we can't say the Fish Heads. They
Yeah.
could be the
Yeah.
older kids, but FISH.
There you go.
Miss
Yeah.
Danielle and the crew.
Absolutely, absolutely. You said you
kinda
touched
cool.
base on nicotine stuff,
Yes, we do.
smoking, and how difficult is that when you have children who may have parents that smoke? I mean,
Great
it's
point.
scary to the kids. I'm sure you're not trying to scare them, but at the same point, you have to be realistic. I mean, smoking causes cancer, period.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
you do.
So
And-
you tell these kids that. Do you have positive or negative feedback from parents on that?
You know what? I haven't really had much negative feedback at all. Nothing that's been brought to the table so much. Now,
Good.
the kids are very open and honest, which I think is great, and it's also a reflection of their home life as well.
Absolutely.
But the smoking actually, I think, gives the most questions besides nutrition than any other month.
Really?
Yeah, they're just so intuitive, and it's overwhelming actually how many households still have smoking
with the
households.
issue.
Yeah,
Right,
smoking
right.
families. And I mean, we even go into far as to say how it's like if you're in a car with windows up, like how many cigarettes it's like you smoked without even smoking them.
Wow.
Things like that. And scary pictures.
Yes,
Not like
and-
scary pictures,
know,
but kind of
but
gross
real,
pictures, like
real.
nasty mouth pictures and
Lungs.
real pictures. We talk about a gentleman that had his whole jaw removed from the use of chewing tobacco, and he
Yeah,
was going to be a
yikes.
professional athlete. And we go kind of on the whole chasing your dreams things with that, and
Yeah.
ruining it for one bad habit.
Any kids that may, I know my mom smoked when we were younger. I mean, she would not really smoke where we were, but she smoked. And my sister and I hated it. And we used to beg, like we used to say, we're going to hide your cigarettes. You know what I mean? Like, do you have any kids that actually go home with information more that might actually help?
I think so.
I mean, to where they really
I've had
have
some
a good
kids,
case now.
you know, every once in a while we'll have some time at the end, or I'll have kids that come up to me as they're, you know, going through to leave, and they'll say, you know, I've been talking to my dad about smoking, and, you know, he doesn't always listen, but he said that he'll really try for me, and things
Aw.
like that. So it's those things that you're like, okay, well, you know, they're taking this message home, and we also try
Right.
to give the kids some kind of honest but not rude verbiage to talk with their parents
Absolutely,
about,
absolutely.
because they feel intimidated to say something because they think they're going to get in trouble, or their parents are going to scold them because this is something that their parents do and they're adults and they're not
Yeah.
supposed to, you know, really touch on
Yeah.
that. So we try and give them some ideas of what to say to, you know, sit down and have a conversation with them. Open your heart to your parents and
Yeah.
say, you know, something as simple as, Mom, Dad, I love you and I want you to be around. And Miss
Yeah.
Danielle said that you could get cancer and die from smoking cigarettes. And it's something that is small like that, but maybe would touch a chord with,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
the parents.
Well,
So
and that's what I was going to say, and I'm glad you brought that up because everybody's in a different situation. A child may have a very unique home environment,
very.
and I'm trying to be politically correct
Yes.
here, of course, and you have to really think about that, and I'm sure you deal with so many different levels. You know, we just got several text messages, people asking, you know, you had brought up sometimes it's tough for the middle class family or those families that may have maybe a lot of children or just be in a financial situation where they want to feed their families, you know, a little healthier, but it's
Good
tough
point.
because it would break the bank. And like, I'm on a budget of it. I'm just throwing this out
right.
there as a hypothetical. I've got $100 a week to spend on groceries, and we all know, I know with a family of 4 adults that spending $200 a month $200 a week is nothing. I mean, it's
We
like,
average 400 easy
yeah,
a week.
Yeah.
But, that,
But
that's-
we have
but
a
that's-
big-
and
Right.
That's
on.
what I'm saying. So how do we? And the questions are: how do we eat a little bit healthier? And what is your thought for these families about how they tweak it? And what would you suggest? And those are great, like text messages and
Absolutely.
questions to just say, you know, I'm kind of at a loss here. I don't know what to do.
Sure. And I think one of the things is not necessarily thinking about the current money situation for food, but think about what are the other things that I'm spending my money on that maybe are extras that I maybe don't need. And I'll even relate that to the smoking part of it. We use a statistic with the kids, and I can just think of it in my head right off the top, that someone who smokes approximately 1 pack of cigarettes a day could save $1,800 a year from just giving up
serious
one pack of
coinage.
cigarettes
Wow.
a day. It's like $1,800 or something like that. So that's, you know, one thing that we kind of talk about with that. But I think it's just being mindful and trying to look at the items itself. Like I said, you can go get a can of vegetables from Aldi, which, by the way, I'm a huge Aldi fan.
Absolutely.
And you can get a can of vegetables for 49 cents. You can get a can of fruit for 49 cents. So I think sometimes it's just overthinking that they
Yeah.
have to have fresh produce, that it
Right.
has to be organic, that it has to be all those things. It doesn't. Just do the best you can with what you have. And if it means canned fruit and vegetables, it means canned fruit and vegetables. But
Still
you're
better than-
getting
yeah.
some nutrients. It's still better than not. And just having, you know, say pasta every single day. So you're
Yeah.
still getting those things. It just not, you know, you're working with what you got.
Yeah, very
You know,
good
some
point.
of the things, Mary, you and I have chatted about on the air, and we've had Thor on the program before. Thor Thordarson, you guys did a whole bunch of cooking demonstrations.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that there was a spin-off to that. We were talking about healthy eating and
Right.
trying to like figure out ways, because I really believe, especially after doing some of these shows live, where we've had Chef Melody Prettyman in and other professionals, we're like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible. I mean, even,
Yeah.
we've even challenged ourselves with our families to try different salsas and cheeses
Yeah, just
and
di-
food.
right.
Just trying it, even if you're saying, I'm not going to like it, it's not going to taste good. Well, I got to be honest with you. There's been plenty of times where we said, this is great. Or,
Right.
you know what?
Been
Not-
surprised
right.
by it.
I think that's it too. Is trying new things and also not being stuck to just like name brands.
Right.
You
Oh,
don't have to
absolutely.
have name brand stuff to have it be healthier, to taste good. So I think that's another big thing too. And the time, I think, is another big misinformation, that it takes a really long time to prepare a healthy meal. It absolutely doesn't.
Right.
And the best invention are these steam bags, I think, right?
Yeah, I know,
You
I
can get them
know.
for like $1.25, and it's probably 3 or 4 servings of vegetables.
Yeah.
And you stick them in your microwave. Granted, it's still in your microwave, but it's in a steam bag,
Yeah.
which is better than actually boiling it, you know, and taking some of the nutrients out. 6 minutes in your microwave, and you have broccoli or cauliflower for your entire family. you know, a piece of chicken in the oven, you know, you could buy the whole bag of chicken for $6, but you think about that. That's, you know, $4 or $5 for an entire meal.
Right.
I mean, you go to McDonald's and you spend
certainly.
that much
Please.
for a meal. So I think it's that too, that it costs more to eat at home and it takes longer. It really doesn't. It's just taking the time to prepare everything.
I have someone listening online right now, and they said, I love this lady. What's her name? Her name is?
Danielle Kessler.
Okay, and they also asked, the other question was, how could they go to their school officials and ask for this program where they're at? They're obviously in an area where
Well,
this
that's a
little
great
fish club is
question.
Not available. So
Sure.
Can we do this potentially?
I mean, potentially, I'm only one person. I would love to be able to go
We need a
everywhere.
team of professionals.
I would love to go everywhere.
Great.
But I think just having that consistent message would be the key. But definitely, I mean, it's something that you could reach out to the foundation, because the foundation is the reason of our existence, and we're so thankful to them. So the IU Health Foundation would be a good place to start, but also, you know, the superintendent of your school corporation. A lot of times principals and or superintendents will contact us and say, hey, we've heard about this program, you know, what would it take to get into our school? So you just got to kind of start from there and see where it evolves.
That's a
This is
great point.
great.
That's a great question too.
Absolutely.
You know, it is a great program. My kids always have enjoyed it. You know, they bring home little, besides the deodorant and stuff, you know, something as simple as a water bottle. You know, you regular washable water bottle.
Yep.
You know, the kids love that. And that too is a good message. Just fill it, you know, it's just so easy. And I think that kind of is the point. Keeping it a little, teaching them these little life lessons and these better choices, you know, planting those seeds at a lighthearted level.
Absolutely.
Makes it stick with them a lot longer. You know, they
does.
don't feel like it's health class, quote unquote health class. It's just much more enjoyable. My kids have always enjoyed it, so I love the program and think it's a great.
And we're just giving them the tools, you know.
That's it.
And that's the hope, is that they use these tools to make good health and lifestyle decisions. And yes, the prizes are great and the giveaways that take home, but the message is really what we're hoping that these kids, you know, take with them for the rest of their lives, which is another reason why we've just recently expanded Little Fish Club. So that's another exciting
And in what
venture.
What way have you expanded?
We've actually expanded into second grade.
Oh.
So we're starting earlier. Now, we're not doing all 8 presentations. We actually did a breakfast brainstorm with some teachers a couple years ago and had them come in and kind of give input on what topics they thought would be the most relevant and at what age would be appropriate to kind of start this expansion. So we got lots of feedback from teachers and members of the community, and they felt that second grade would be a great place to start with basic hygiene, germs, and, you know, taking care of yourself as far as bathing, things like that, nutrition, and also exercise.
Yeah.
So we're doing 3 presentations. We just expanded from 2 schools last year where we piloted to all 8 schools in LaPorte. That's what we're at right now. And we're hoping that we have really good feedback. That actually starts tomorrow
Great.
for our first one. So now, you know, I'm at 26 schools a month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's exciting, you
fantastic.
know,
Yeah.
and more kids touched. And then again, with that same message in 4th grade. And then hopefully, you know, it
Right.
just keeps
I think
getting
that's a
in
great
there.
idea. You know, just get a little taste of
Yeah,
it. Second grade,
breadcrumbs.
and then, yeah, absolutely reinforce that come
think
4th
about
grade.
that, ladies. Think about all of us have had children that have been in second grade.
Yeah.
That is easily, I mean, even think about kindergarten. These kids are running around. They're
Mm-hmm.
developing a lot quicker. Things are happening. It just seems as the years go on, the maturity level of our children are
yeah.
just exploding.
Well, and they're just such sponges.
Yes.
I mean, especially at that age, they just,
Yeah.
they are like in awe of everything that you say in second grade. And the 2 classes that I went to last year, I mean, it's just, when I'm up there, they're listening. I mean, you would never
That's
guess that they would want to
fantastic.
get up and run around, because
Yeah.
they are really kind of honed in on what it is that you're saying. And we do fun videos and, you know, get them up and moving too, but it's things that are very relevant for them.
Are a lot of parents, just curious, are a lot of parents excited about the program? What have they said? What have the children said? The feedback, I'm just curious.
I get more feedback probably from the kids than I do necessarily from the parents, to be quite honest. But I do run into parents here and there, and I am a member of Tri Kappa, and I have some, you know, sisters in there that have had kids go through, and they always, you know, talk about how much they love it. And the biggest one that I hear, especially from a colleague of mine, is, Miss Danielle said so, Mom, so I have to do it, whether it be like switching to wheat bread or, you know, doing something. So they're always like, well, if I can't get my kids to do it, at least if Miss Danielle can, then we're on the right track.
Absolutely.
So sometimes
absolutely.
it's just a different person in
That's
your kid's
it.
life.
Sometimes it's just someone else saying,
Yes.
oh, come on, you need to brush
Yeah.
and floss your teeth.
It's
You know
not
what I mean?
that the
Not
parents
just the
aren't
parents
saying
nagging.
it, but that's what you
Right.
are. You're the parent.
You're the
So
mom and dad,
if
yeah.
somebody else can come in and say it, that might be a little bit more cool than
And
mom
in
and
a
dad.
fun way,
Yeah.
right? Versus feeling that, like they're being nagged at by their parents. I
Right.
love that. It is a fabulous program. I think I have never, out of the kids' friends and stuff, I've never heard any negative comments when they talk about it. They all enjoy it. I know that my 3 daughters each had little fish T-shirts.
Oh,
and
the T-shirts are
It's-
like
it's a
the
big
big thing.
deal.
Adults like T-shirts. I mean,
I
come
know.
on.
Do you know what's really cute? They all signed theirs. I don't know
Yeah,
if you do that in
with
every class
markers
still.
at the end of the year.
The end of the year,
Mhm.
they all sign each other's T-shirts. It's just funny. They still have those T-shirts. They still wear them even though they're older. They'll wear them at jammy clothes. You know what I mean?
Right,
They just,
right.
just to see them, it's cute. It's funny, and they love it. So it's obviously sticking with them at least on some level. And I think that's a great program. Good idea for every
How about this,
school.
ladies? What do you think, tying it into the fish heads with an FISH? How about this? A big, giant fish head hat for the adults
There you
to
go.
bond with the kids?
We'll let you
Come
wear
on,
that.
Danielle.
We'll let all the dads
I
wear
think
that
they think
then.
we're crazy enough already.
Yeah,
I
no,
might add
but
that.
it's funny. It's
all day
cute.
for you.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
We'll put one on you and then
I'll
go
do
to
it
a
in 2
school.
seconds.
Right.
It would be fun. That
We're
would
going
be
to
a
take
good
this
time.
on the road with Danielle. Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah,
You
let's
got to
do
make
it.
this happen because you're the boss.
I would love
we
to
will
do
go,
that.
right?
Oh, I would love that.
I
I
would
think
love
it's a
it.
good idea.
I think it'd be really cool. We could give away some good prizes to the kids. We
Yeah,
could do like
be a lot of fun.
quiz type show. This could be like 2, 3, 4 day thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
do it.
gosh, this would
Take
be
Little
great.
Fish on the road.
Radio,
That's right.
TV, online, across the world, in America.
Yeah, it would be
like that.
perfect.
Danielle's like, okay, weirdo.
No.
This is Younger Life Live. Rick Federici, Mary Anthony, Danielle Kessler here. We're going to wrap it up. Final thoughts. We're going to turn it over to you, Danielle, and kind of recap on the Little Fish Club and some of the things that you feel are important for our listening audience here at WIMS and Younger Life Live.
Sure. So again, it's mainly, a program for 4th graders. We are expanding to 2nd grade. FISH again stands for feel important, stay healthy, and that is the message across the board, whether it
Yeah.
be, bullying or dental or tobacco or exercise. All these things give the kids tools to live a healthy life. And that's the biggest thing that we want them to take away are these different tidbits. Like you said, we call it breadcrumbing, just giving them these little things that they can carry on and use in their daily life. And I'm just the fortunate one that gets to kind of relay this message. And like I said, it's just a lot of fun. And I think when you can be lighthearted and bring some fun into it and do it in a way that the kids feel like, I can do this, you're empowering them, that you're giving them the keys to unlock a lot of doors in their future that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise. So
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
another great show. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mary
you,
Anthony.
Danielle.
absolutely.
Thank you
It's
for
fun.
coming.
Danielle,
Yeah.
we love having you on, and we're going to do some fun stuff, I'm sure,
Awesome
in upcoming
program.
shows. So
Looking
thank
forward
you.
to it.
On behalf of us all at Gerard Media LLC, of course, Younger Life Live, Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, we thank you for joining us. In upcoming shows, if you've got a few seconds here, we're going to
Yeah.
be cooking with Brad, right?
We are. I cannot wait for
I'm
that
so
one
stoked.
again. Yeah.
All right. Keep it set, and thank you for joining us for another great segment of Younger Life Live. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.